What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show. This is your guy, Anthony Sain, here with my man, Kenny Stubblefield in the building, man.
What's up, man?
We did a little pre-show rundown of what we're going to talk about. I'm totally not going to talk about that. I'm going to start off with something.
Let's go. I love it.
Kenny looked like I literally just, before I hit the play button, this dude, he literally told me what he was going to talk about. But I'm going to talk about something that is going on in the city of Memphis when it comes down to sports. It is hilarious to me and probably only me. The stuff that's being said, and that's regarding your University of Memphis Tigers. I am wearing my free Go Tigers Go shirt that I got from whatever we did this year. What was it?
The Blue Out.
The Blue Out. No. The preseason thing. It wasn't Memphis Madness. It wasn't the Cookout. It was.
They call it the blue. It was the blue-gray game last year, but I don't think they called it that this year.
I don't know. I was at that joint. The field house is off the chain. For those of you who've never been, you might want to go. Y'all might be playing home games there sometimes.
Wow, coming out strong today.
Y'all might want to get acquainted with the field house. But no, I want to talk about this, man. The Tigers play South Florida tonight, if I'm not mistaken, on ESPN2. I want to say the game don't come on until like 8 o'clock maybe or something like that. The Tigers have about 6 games left in the season. They've won all of their conference games except for one. I don't think that the meltdown is coming, Kenny. I don't think that the shoe on the other foot is going to fall off. I think the Tigers are going to be fine. They could lose another game. I don't see it. I think they're like an 8-point favorite tonight to win against South Florida. But what I want to talk about, that I have to be the only person just noticing this, or maybe I'm just totally misinterpreting what's being said. It seems like maybe at least once or twice a week, there's an article with some type of sit-down interview with Penny Hardaway, where he comes out and tells you how little he knew what he was doing in the previous years. I'm like, Penny, you're being too transparent, bro. You're giving him too much, bro. Hey, I'm not mad because, this is what I was on last year, man. I basically was saying that, man, you have to be patient with Penny. Like, if he's the guy, and I think he is the guy, I don't think anybody can come here and give you the longevity, give you the years it would take to make this a championship level team, or highly ranked continually contending team, except for somebody like Penny, right? But I've always said that you have to wait. You have to give him time. Like, he's not your average 6-year coach. This guy was not. He wasn't some guy who had aspirations to be a coach and went through the coaching ranks. He literally went from golfing to coaching a college basketball team. You know what I mean? Of course, he had his AAU stuff and his high school stuff, but that's nowhere near. He literally was able to go out and get the way better talent than everybody in the country and put these high school teams together. We had one of the best high school teams in the country that was playing here in Memphis and East High School.
Right.
So of course he could dominate on that level, but he had to see that college basketball is not high school basketball. And just these interviews and these stories, man, I'm like, all right, Penny, like, don't give us no more, man. Like, he's like, I want another thing.
Oh, let me tell you one more thing.
Oh,
well,
shit.
I have a different perspective of it, and
okay.
And I think that this.
Hold on, what do you think my perspective is? I'm behind Penny in this. I'm excited because I'm like, man, my guy, he got it. Like, I think I think all the bullshit is behind us. But yeah, go ahead.
I don't think it's an embarrassment on Penny to say that.
Oh no, not at all. It's hilarious to me. It is hilarious.
I want to reiterate that because I think people that are going to hear this are gonna. I guarantee you, there are at least 4 or 5 people that comment on everything we do Tiger related.
Oh yeah,
that
like
are going to come in
anti-Penny.
That are going to be on this. They shouldn't have hired the man in the first place. Bullshit, right?
Oh, that's stupid. That's dumb.
That's how they are.
If they hadn't hired Penny, if they had fired Tubby Smith and hired some other guy, we'd have been on our third coach right now. We probably have been like gearing up for our third coach.
100%.
We might have been on our second, but we've been gearing up for the third.
So Jeff Borzello is the interview you're talking about. It's a fantastic read. Like, he came in from ESPN. He looks like every writer from ESPN that writes about college basketball. He looks like Dan Wolken. And he came walking in, and we're like, oh, it's Jeff Borzello. He comes walking in. It's like copy and paste. These dudes all look the same. He goes walking up there and talks to Penny. But I mean, the article was phenomenal. What he said he said there are certain things that I loved. There's a couple of parts that I just loved about that article. is you hear these players that are, especially he talked to Tyrese Hunter, he talked to Nick Jourdain, and you hear them, and the one thing that they talk about, especially Tyrese, is Penny's ability to see things before it happens, right? Like his ability to see the game. And and I can legitimately tell you, guys like PJ Haggerty, guys like Tyrese Hunter, that's the reason they came here. They came here because they wanted to be able to see the game the way Penny does.
Yeah.
And Tyrese was talking about a couple of times in practice, Penny was like, "Did you not see that? This thing that happened over here in the corner, this is what I would have done if I were you because of what happened over here." And he's just like,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
I would love to be in the
that.
room watching Penny like groom his guards for sure.
I would love to see him break film down with his guards. Like that would be, if I'm free advice to the University of Memphis video staff, the more you can get Penny on camera talking about basketball, it is gold.
Yeah.
I'll just throw that out there to you.
Yeah, why don't we have like a behind the scenes thing, like, that seems like that would be awesome if they could just get some actual clips of, even if it's bullshit, even if it's not even like real, like if they could just get stuff more Penny talking to coaching the team, like that would be off the chain. But yeah, shout out to Penny, man. I think he got this thing figured out, man.
I got one more part to it. I want to say, and I'm going to go off a little bit here. It's my rant for the day.
Go ahead, bro.
It's my rant for the day. Because you know me, man. I cover the Tigers. I've been with the Tigers now for 6 years, 7 years.
I thought it was longer than that, but go ahead.
Ed Scott was interviewed in that article as well. And you heard the things that Ed said about Penny when he came in. He said, "I inherited Penny Hardaway," which if you're an athletic director and you inherit Penny Hardaway as your head coach, hell,
it can go either way. Yeah, it could be super dope, or you could be like, all right, this guy's bigger than me. Like he's bigger than the program. Like it could be.
And every bit of that we've seen now. This is Penny's third AD. Ed Scott is Penny's third AD. And so
in a typical situation, back to what we said earlier, in the typical situation, with each new AD, there would have been another coaching hire.
100%. You said it could go either way. We saw how it went with the previous AD. We saw how it's going with Ed Scott. And it's because of one difference. And that's because Ed Scott came in and said, "I'm going to make this as easy for Penny Hardaway. I'm going to give him whatever he needs to make this work."
And
he's done the results of it. And you've seen the results of it.
Not just in W's, not just in wins, but just the cohesiveness, those guys being one unit, Tim Duncan included in that conglomerate as well. Yeah, man, I think that Penny's in a good place with what he's doing. And shout out to him, man, for real. Like I have no concerns of this season, coming off the tracks. I think they're going to win out. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't at this point. I think they got a good thing going. Penny's getting these younger guys going. We said that in the conference season, he's going to have to get some of those other guys going. Dane Danger starts for the team now. He's got a good team, man, and I think that he can build on this and, keep the same model, the same formula he has now, but just make the team just a little bit deeper. I believe he really can get in his bag this summer. So shout out to Coach Penny.
And I'll say this one last thing. Shout out to the University of Memphis for making the decision to hire Ed Scott, because if the former AD was still here, Penny would be gone. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we talk about how things could have gone badly if Ed had come in with a different mentality about how to work with Penny Hardaway. If he had come in and treated Penny Hardaway the same way the previous AD did, Penny would be gone.
And when you say treating him the way the previous AD did, you're talking about not having conversations with Penny Hardaway at all. Like you're like
not helping him.
Yeah.
Because that goes back to the rules thing we're talking about. How much did he not know? Well, it's part of an athletic department's job to prepare your coaches, to get them to find the weaknesses that they have, to go, okay, we're pinpointing and targeting that you're really good at this. We need to help you with this. Right. And that did not happen under the previous administration. It's happening under this administration. And like you said, Tim Duncan is a great example of that happening, because Tim has come in, former roommate of Penny, former teammate of Penny, a guy who understands the rules, a guy who understands compliance, a guy who understands the NCAA bylaws, and is saying, not only I am here to help you because I'm for you. Like it's just a different vibe. Totally.
Yeah, for sure. I'm loving it. I'm loving it, man, for sure. Good to see Penny getting this thing under control. But Penny, just I hope you got it all out. I hope everything you had to say.
No more.
We can't
You're
take no
good.
more.
You're
And
good.
another thing.
And another thing.
You remember that kid so and so?
Yeah. I had no clue that I couldn't.
Paid him.
Damn
No clue. I paid him out of pocket. No clue I couldn't do that.
Yeah. Had no clue McDonald's bags weren't no.
Oh man. All right.
Oh, that's funny stuff.
I'm
I
looking
agree
at
with
the
you, though.
yeah, it's good. It's entertaining to see. I'm happy, man. I'm proud of it to see that he's figuring it out. That he's gonna be here, man. Like Penny's gonna be the coach of this team until he fucking gets tired of being the coach of this team. And I am
100%.
excited about that, bro. But I'm looking at the NBA standings right now. Kenny Stubblefield, our Memphis Grizzlies lost on the road against the Los Angeles Clippers. I'm sitting up here thinking in my time of being a Grizzlies fan, I cannot remember a single Los Angeles road win in a long time. Like maybe when the Lakers were really bad during that time before LeBron got there. Maybe there was times then we were going to LA and getting wins, but it seems like we're often talking about all these guys look like they partied in LA last night. Like this, that's always what we always hear. Whether that was the young teams, the older teams, we've always talked about the Grizzlies losing in LA. And a perfect storm yesterday, the final game before NBA All-Star Weekend, the Grizzlies lose that game. It seems like they tried to throw out a knockout punch early in that game so they can enjoy their break.
Right.
That didn't work, and the Clippers ended up beating our ass, and they could enjoy their break with the win. The Grizzlies standings now is what I want to talk about for the beginning of the show. It's a dangerous area, man. Like, a lot of times, we have situations where the Grizzlies take a loss, and our fans say, well, we're still second in the West, or we're still third in the West, and didn't nothing change, and all these type of things. But you're looking at a grouping between 2 through 5 that the Grizzlies are in. They're at the top of that. They're in they're 8.5 games away from the Thunder. They're not catching them. Those dudes are 44-9. Haven't even lost the second game. Haven't even lost their 10th game of the season yet. But the Grizzlies are
so good.
They're standing in second. They're a half game ahead of Denver, who was kind of out of it to begin the season. They're a half game ahead of them. They're 2 games ahead of the Rockets, who've been losing since Fred VanVleet has been out. And they're 3 games ahead of the Lakers. We really have to keep in mind that we're not as separated from these teams as we might feel like we are. You know what I mean? And if you get into a situation where you lose 3 out of 4, you lose 2 out of 3, you can look up. And if you don't finish strong the rest of this season, you could be in a situation where you're the 4 seed playing the Lakers at 5 or something like that, because it's nothing. It's literally 2 games between you and Houston. You lose 2, they win 2, they caught you. You know what I mean? Just like that. Right. So I just hope that the Grizzlies continue to be good, and that also kind of speaks to this too. Like that's something I've said all the time. There's not many good teams in the NBA, and you've seen Denver, who started off the season looking bad. They just started playing good basketball, and they've won 8 straight games now. You know what I mean? So. All those things clearly matter. Kenny, what are some of the things that you would like to see in the second half of the season to just kind of maximize what you think the Grizzlies season could be? Because I have a couple things I want to talk about, but I want to see where you are on this first.
I think the biggest thing, and there's going to be a couple clips coming out about this, and we talked about it on Wednesday's show. 2 Bucks talked about it today. Man, I want to see 12 come back, bro.
Yeah.
I want to see 12 come back.
We talked about it in the last show.
Yeah, I want to see that edge, man. I want to see that whatever it is. Like I want to go take a break. I'm glad he's not. It's kind of I'm we had the in-season tournament where the Grizzlies I think they won 1 game finally, right, in the in-season tournament, and everybody was like, I wish we could go to Las Vegas. It'd be fun to see them play in that. And I'm like, man, it'd be good to get Desmond Bane away from the game and let him rest.
Yeah, let him sit his head down.
And so, and look at what it's done to Desmond's game since, right? And so, as much as we would love to see Ja in the All-Star break, there's a part of me that's like, man, Ja, take your family, go somewhere, man. Go to Turks and Caicos, man. I'm poor. I don't go to places like that, so I don't even know the names of it. But like Turks and Caicos, go somewhere and just relax and sit down, have a come to Jesus.
Oh,
no, let's not do that. But come to Jesus.
You remember that All-Star weekend when Ja was just flat out wild?
On the airplane, he had that gigantic bottle of Casamigo.
And on the boat too. He was on the boat turning.
Was he on the boat too? I just remember the plane picture going, "Holy hell, yeah, that man's wilding right
and the
now."
same people that were like behind that image of Ja turning that bottle up to his mouth on the plane and on the boat and all that kind of stuff are the same people. They're like, "Oh man, does Ja have a drinking problem?" And all this like, man, people ain't shit, man, really. But no, but go ahead. Yeah.
But no, I just want to see Ja get the edge back, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like you had your plea to Ja Morant in the last episode, and I thought it was so good. Like
Hey man, I was on my shit that episode too, bro. I went back and watched that, John. I was ministering on y'all ass.
Yeah, you were preaching a little bit on that one, man.
Go ahead,
I need an altar call.
I had to get my preacher bag, man. Preacher's kid back.
But no, man, I want to see that 12 back, man. I don't want to see Ja Morant out there in the back half of this season. I want to see 12 out there. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. What I would like to see, man, is just continuity, like kind of knowing what to expect. In the first half of the season, it's just been a lot of just kind of disjointed things, whether it be rotations, whether it be who's playing, who's not playing, starting lineups, all those type of things. I want the starting lineup to be what it is the rest of the season. I want to kind of know the lineups I'm going to see. I want to see some bigger lineups too, man. I think I want to see lineups where first of all, I don't ever want to see a situation where either Vince or Jalen Wells aren't on the court. Like, I don't ever want both of those guys to not be playing. And I want to see both of them playing at the same time sometimes. I want to see Vince at the 2 and Wells at the 3 or vice versa. I'm not a fan of the small backcourts. The Ja and Scottie Pippen Jr. or the Dez and Scottie Pippen
never
Jr.
see
or
the light of day.
Ja and Luke Kennard. I don't want to see that, bro. Like, give me – you got enough help out there now where you can go 2 wings on the court with the point guard. You don't have to have another small guard out there. I want to see just more continuity, those type of things. I'm banking on health. I know it's crazy to say I'm banking on health being a Grizzlies fan, but I'm banking on these guys being relatively healthy the rest of the year. I just want to see continuity, get rid of the weird stuff. Man, and we've got to throw Edey in the fire, man. We have to throw him in the fire. Portland is throwing Donovan Clingan in the fire, and he's looking like a beast. And I think Zach has those same capabilities. Now, Zach definitely has some weaknesses. Zach's hands are terrible. Like, we're seeing that the speed of the NBA game has made his hands ass. When he was able to sit and, put his butt on guys and kind of establish his position in the paint, it's a lot easier to make that pass to him. Yeah. But when in the speed of an NBA game, he's been mishandling the passes. But you have to push through that and let him play. He has to play more than 20 minutes a game. You know what I mean? There was a situation yesterday when he just wasn't getting, like, everybody had way more minutes than what he had. And I would like to see more them use him better, use him more. And just kind of establish an identity, man. This is who we are. You know what I mean? Right now we're trying to find who we are even on the court, which I think is a big thing with the turnovers as well. The guys are trying to force their game into this offensive system. And like we said time and time again in this show, it's kind of hard to knock an offensive system that's making you the highest scoring team in the league, and you're finally shooting the 3-point ball well for the first time ever in franchise history. You know what I mean? It's hard to knock it, but it is the reason why I think you're seeing these turnovers, because guys are trying to force things into where they know guys are supposed to be, type stuff. So
it feels like they've largely abandoned the offense at this point.
It does feel that way too. It does kind of feel that way too.
I
saw Tomas Isolo playing Angry Birds on his phone the other night while the game was going. He didn't seem to really
so much one-on-one breakdown stuff that I'm not like that, and that has not been the hallmark of what they've done in the early part of the year. It definitely feels like, and maybe that's a continuity thing. Maybe that's not having a lot of reps in practice, being in the middle of the season, getting all these guys back off of injury. But it's like, I feel like there's just, it's like a breakdown, like break somebody down one-on-one, go to the basket, pass out, break somebody down, go on,
it don't look like the stuff they were doing at the beginning of the season. It doesn't.
At all. I kind of missed that, even though I wanted them to change it to like get Ja Morant back and let Ja do Ja things. I still liked, what the concepts of that offense look like. And I just feel like it's been largely abandoned at this point.
Yeah. But I definitely agree. Well, Ken, there's something else kind of strange I've been noticing that I would like to talk about, see where you're at on it. We're about to take a break first. We'll come back and talk about that. Just have a question I'd like to pose out to the people who are our viewers. Hoping y'all respond to these in the comments so we can keep this conversation going. But it's just something I'm noticing, and I want to see what you guys think about it. I talked about this on Twitter. I teased it. Supposed to talk about this last show and totally forgot to talk about it. So we'll talk about it when we come back in a few minutes here on the Anthony Sain Show. See you guys in a minute.
I would have loved Cam Johnson on this team. I still think that there's a real chance we could get Cam Johnson this summer, probably for a heck of a lot cheaper. But I am completely fine with betting on the leaders that we have on this team, Ja, Dez, and Jaren, and the youth that we have on this team with Gigi, Jalen, Vince, and Edie, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, I would have been much angrier at the trade deadline if Cam Johnson, Colin Sexton, John Collins, all these guys were moved to other teams, but they weren't. You can blame Zach Kleiman, say he couldn't seal the deal, whatever, but chances are I'm going to bet money that the reason why these players are not playing for the Grizzlies is because he was not willing to give up Gigi Jackson, Vince Williams Jr., or Jalen Wells.
And call us apologists or purists or whatever you want, but that's the fact. Like, that's very likely what happened, and I'm going to choose to believe that he stood on business and said no.
Tune in to the $2 Sports Show with Rusty Witten and Drew Gann every Tuesday and Thursday live at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. I genuinely think the ace card that the Tigers have is they've got one of the best point guards in the entire country on their team in PJ Haggerty. I think he is an equalizer, but I am almost as interested in seeing what PJ Haggerty does in the postseason as I am what the Tigers do in the postseason, because I think they're inextricably linked, right? Can we see PJ have one of those kind of postseasons where he just puts the entire team on his back and says, I got you? Because I think he's that kind of player.
Is it PJ's that guy that you know you're going to get your 20 out of, and then you get to the tournament and Tyrese is shooting 60% from three again? It's just that it's that two-headed monster with those guards.
Oh my gosh.
And then if you can get a night from Colby too in there, like, yeah, they're set up well. In March, everybody talks about having a backcourt is what's going to get you a deep run.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with your hosts, Trey Lasley and TJ Willis, every Tuesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Everybody, welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. Kenny Stubblefield, I have no real opinion on the Super Bowl thing that I want to talk about. The stuff I want to talk about, I don't think it would be podcast friendly. I'm kind of tired of arguing with the bad people in the world, so I don't really have any strong opinions I want to share here. But I did want to say this, Kenny Stubblefield. Drake is dropping an album tonight. If you guys are watching the show today, you would have already heard it. He's dropping an album with Party Next Door. See, man, this is why I have to respect the boy, man, because he give you what you want when you need it, bro. Valentine's Day is tomorrow, today, whatever you're doing. So Drake gives you the vibes you need for Valentine's Day, bro. He don't have me crip walking with a bunch of dudes in the summertime. Like he don't give me that, bro. Drake don't give me that type of stuff, bro. You know what I mean? No, he don't. I'm sorry, he don't give me a crip walking album in the wintertime. He don't give me an album that you need to listen to with the windows down in the winter. Like, he don't give me that, bro. Like, Drake gives me what I want when I need it, bro. So I will be tuning in with something vivacious beside me. AirPods in my splitting the AirPods, listen to the vibes of Drake, booed up, cuddled up with a beautiful woman for Valentine's Day, because that's what Drake gives to us, man. He gives you what you need. So don't ever in your life think that anybody can make Anthony Sain not listen to Drake. And bro, the world is so freaking fake, bro. Like, how in the world is a rap beef? And for me, for two artists that I am a fan of, they are my two favorite rap artists. I think Tyler Creator might be Drake, Tyler, Kendrick, but they up there. Those my guys, right?
Yeah.
How do you like rap music? You like both of these artists. These two get into their beef. One guy clearly wins because he took somewhere Drake couldn't go. Drake let Kendrick lure him into the cultural thing, right? And he tore his ass up. It's kind of like Superman when he would fight certain people.
Yep.
It's like, I'm not gonna fight you, bro. I'm just gonna take your ass up off Earth where you can't breathe no more and you're gonna die. like you know what I mean? That's what Superman would do to people all the time. And in that conversation, like Kendrick destroyed Drake and the whole cultural thing, right? But how does that make you? Why does it make people think that people who listen to Drake aren't gonna listen to Drake anymore? Like, bro, what world are you living in? But anyway, The Boy drops tonight. I will be listening to that joint. It's a Valentine's Day.
Wait, the album is called The Boy?
No. What you see that online or something? No, I'm listening to The Boy.
I thought you said The Boy drop, and I'm like,
hey,
my brother, I will never listen to an album called The Boy. I'm just gonna throw that out there to you, man. I like Summertime Drake.
You listen to Certified Lover Boy though.
No, I did not. I
did, bro.
I have very specific Drake stuff I listen to. It's on a playlist.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a fan of the boot up.
You not a fan of crooning Drake, bro?
Hell no,
bro.
Hell no.
That might be my favorite. Crooning Drake, singing Drake might be my favorite one.
I know, because you're a romantic at heart, man. I'm not.
It's going down. It's going down tonight, man. I'm gonna have the AirPod split, something bad, yelling vivacious beside me. Come on, man. Stop playing.
You got love in your heart. I got a black heart, man. I need.
But you're not black, bro.
But see, that's the point. Like, that's what, like, Kendrick took it to a place that Drake couldn't go.
Oh, it destroyed him.
Which was entirely the point, right?
He destroyed him.
He basically pulled his card and said, "Bro, you can't match up. Like, you can't. You're faking this world."
He called you a culture vulture, which is so strange because, you know, Drake's genealogy supports a lot of stuff that Drake is on. Like, he's got musical roots. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
But Kendrick easily could take Drake into the conversation because Drake is such a cornball. He's so lame. Yeah. He's such a freaking cornball. It's an easy fight. Not that like it's not like this was Ja Rule versus 50 Cent because Kendrick Lamar is a nerd. He's a nerd.
Dudes. Yes.
You can't be that intellectual of an artist and have that much musical genius and me think that you're some gangbanger. Like you're not.
Like some banger out there in the streets.
You're a nerd.
And you hear the folks in LA talk about this all the time. Mm-hmm. They talk about they knew he wasn't that dude. He's never banged like that. Like the streets protected Kendrick throughout his time coming up because they know you ain't that guy, right?
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to be that guy.
Yeah. But shout out to Kendrick Lamar.
Shout out to both of them, man.
Yeah, bro. I'm not going to stop listening to Drake, bro. Like, when Drake drops tonight, I'm going to be bumping that junk in the AirPods, bro. Like, this happens. That's happening, bro.
And you should.
But anyway, I'm anticipating it just like I've said. I think I've even said on here. I wasn't a fan of K-Dot's last album. That's not how I want K-Dot to sound. I'm not from California. I don't get it. I have no desire to walk in a group with a bunch of dudes. I don't. That's not my thing. I'm good, bro. I'm good. You know what I mean? Like it's not a bad album, but I've heard, this is an instant classic. There's too many songs in the album that I will never listen to again.
For me to be an instant
permanent skip.
I don't skip songs if it's a classic.
Yeah, there are too many songs in that album that are permanent skips. Like I would never listen to that again.
You might have one song, two songs that are on that album that will go on immediately onto the Kendrick Lamar playlist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is one of those ones that iconic in his career.
Yeah.
Album wise, I haven't had one of those albums from Kendrick since Good Kid, Mad City. I'll be frank with you. Like to me, there is not a skippable song on Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah, that shit was good. And I'm not gonna get too deep into this, man, but I will say this: it does pain me to see two rappers that were on one accord at one time. Drake did a lot of things to jumpstart Kendrick's career or whatever. I hate to see those guys not be lock and step anymore. But speaking of two guys, Kenny Stubblefield, that may not be as lock and step. Hey, man. Hey, bro, you talking about Ghost, bro. You talking about Ghost, bro. Come on, man.
This is the second week in a row that you've had the greatest segues I've ever heard in my life.
Segue Sain, bro. Hey, put hashtag Segue Sain in the comments.
Hashtag Segue Sain. I got to learn how to spell Segway first.
S-E-G-W-A-Y.
W Segway? No, that's the scooter. That's a scooter.
But I think it's still Segway, bro.
It's a French word, right? Segway.
What are you talking about, bro?
Let me see. I think I'm going to guess and say it's S-E-G-U-E. Segway. Yes,
no way,
sir.
Bro. That's not true, bro.
Move without interruption from one piece of music or scene to another.
It is spelled how?
SEGUE. Let's go.
Hey, bro, the English language is dumb as shit, bro.
Dumb as shit.
Like-
Segue. Yeah.
What was the word, bro? When I said it's two words that are spelled the same way, except one is spelled with I and one is spelled with E. But they don't. The point I was trying to make was those two words don't mean enough difference to spell them two different ways. Bro. I can't. I'm gonna come back and tell y'all what those words are. Is it in case? Not in case. What was it, man? I don't know. But it's something that starts with an I. One word starts with a C, with an E. But they're spelled two different ways. But there's not enough difference in the definition to make it two different words to me. But anyway,
I mean, a good example of that is effect and affect, right?
Yeah.
Effect and affect. They're
That's
spelled
one.
almost exactly the same, but they have two. But the meanings are so just like they're so minute,
Mhm.
like it's so small that it's like, why don't we just use the effect? But it's the effect and how it's
affecting you. Yeah.
It's crazy. Anyway,
It's crazy, bro. English effing sucks. But I definitely did not know the segue was spelled like that at all. Hey, bro, we so off topic, man. I'm still gonna segue this back to what I was talking about. Like, you know how people talk about Mandela effects, right?
right.
One of them they put out is people who think dilemma has an N in it. I'm one of those people, bro.
It does.
It don't.
MNA. Dilemma.
Spell it. Go look it up right now. Dilemma.
DILEMNA. Dilemma.
No, it ain't, bro. Go look it up. Type it in.
Hold on. Dilemma.
See, my days
Whoa,
are gone.
two
without-
M's.
It's two
Two
M's,
M's.
bro. But why do we think it's a fucking N in there?
I've always spelled it with an N.
But why? I have too. But why do we think it's an N in there?
I don't know. That's
Like,
weird.
what in our brain says put a letter that don't make no sense in the word dilemma?
Because that's the English language. That's what they do.
Bro,
You put
Hey,
word,
bro.
you put letters and stuff that makes no sense.
I hate to be the conspiracy brother, man, but if you think we all in the same came from the same timeline, you're lying, bro. You lost. You lost, man. It went over your head like it went over your head. It went over your head like Kendrick's halftime performance, man. Hey, bro, y'all are not that smart either, bro. Like there was nothing about Kendrick Lamar's performance that really went over anybody's head. It was pretty much just plain as day what he was doing, bro. Like nobody should be amazed about like, oh man, y'all missed it. No, we didn't. Bro. I saw it. I saw all of it, bro. And it was okay. Like it wasn't like it was.
The funniest part to me, and I can say this, is all the TikTok white dudes.
All
that,
the
like,
mad white people.
all the who are like, let me break down the Easter eggs from Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show.
Oh yeah, those are funny too. Cause it's a lot of it on Twitter. It's a lot of like middle-aged white ladies that are like breaking down the significance of what Kendrick Lamar did. And I was talking to somebody today. I was like, bro, why do white people like Kendrick Lamar? Like, why aren't white people outraged at him? Like the stuff that he says. How is he winning Grammy Awards? Right? Not because I've been with Kendrick for a while. Like this album, like this last album, and the stuff he did with Drake is a very commercialized poppy type stuff, right? But he's made some albums like the album that had All Right on it. That album, To Pimp a Butterfly. That album said some wild shit when it came down to white people, right?
Wild.
Like literally some wild shit, like let's harvest all y'all, let's go kill all y'all types things, and white people. I'm like, man, why the hell do y'all like Kendrick Lamar? But
Singing it from the rooftops, man.
yeah, man. But back to what I was saying, just like Drake and Kendrick used to be cool at one time. You wonder, are certain people in lock and step as they used to be? And those two people, Kendrick Stubblefield, are Zachary Kleiman and Taylor Jenkins. Those are the two people I want to discuss, just to see are they as in lock and step as they once were at one time. Kendrick Stubblefield. We would always talk about how if the Grizzlies fired Taylor Jenkins, they're just going to bring another one in, and they probably let him know. That's he probably know what's coming, right? We make those kind of jokes about Taylor Jenkins, and I'll say this: I do think that there could be some discord between those two individuals, and I'll say that because of this. I saw Zach Kleiman in a press conference say that he was excited about drafting Zach Edey and why he was excited to be drafting Zach Edey, right? In that same manner, Taylor Jenkins doesn't seem to be as excited about Zach Edey as Zach Kleiman was. And sometimes, man, if a coach doesn't get the guy he wanted in the draft, I can very much see a world where Taylor Jenkins was super high on Donovan Clingan. Like, oh man, just a defensive dynamo and rebounds and young. He can run the floor. Like, give me that kid. I can see him really wanting Donovan Clingan, right? Then I can also see that turning around and saying he likes a guy like what's my boy with Miami, the young
Khalil Ware.
I can see him like a Khalil Ware, right? But I can see him not being a fan of Zach Edey at all. But that's who I got. So and also not trying to optimize the guy because he may really feel like he can't do nothing with Zach Edey. But I don't think they're on the same page. I think that the way that Zach Kleiman envisions Zach Edey being used and what they're doing with Zach Edey are not the same thing. I just don't believe it. I don't believe that they're on the same page when it comes down to that.
Which to that point tells me, I wonder what the discussions were like during the offseason about this new offense with Zach Kleiman,
Yeah.
right? Like,
because I think Zach Kleiman had a big job, big. Even though they're saying that Taylor Jenkins hired those guys, I don't think it was Taylor Jenkins' idea to fire his staff and hire those guys. Like, I think that's two separate conversations. Yeah.
But do you not think Taylor had a role in hiring the new guys, though? Like, I mean,
I think he probably did. I don't think he went out there. I don't think that Coach Jenkins said, go hire your dudes. I think he probably had a say in it. He probably had some input in it. But I think that Zach Kleiman, for the most part, probably picked these coaches. And I think that he probably picked the style of basketball he wanted to play.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that Grizz Twitter had Taylor Jenkins' seat blazing last year, and it was as ice cold as it could possibly be.
I don't think that's true, bro. There's no way they fired that dude's entire coaching staff, and he's cool. Like, there's no way he's sitting in a frozen seat, and they fired the entire coaching staff.
I think that there were probably some hard discussions, right? Like, about things that needed to change. I don't, because it would tell me, like, what it would say to me is, like, the Tomas Isolo hire, bringing him in and implementing this new offense.
Who would go hire that dude? Like, if your level of confidence in yourself have to be extremely high if you go out there and you hire probably the best international coach you can find to be your assistant.
Which is why I'm telling you, I don't think his seat was hot, because I think
there's no way.
All the confidence in the world that I'm gonna do this because
it'll make you look good.
I'm gonna leech his offensive system off of him, learn this thing. If he leaves and goes coach somewhere else, but he ain't taking my job,
so
right?
So you're saying that Taylor Jenkins is a mastermind? He's a devious mastermind.
I think he's a very smart individual.
He brought Tomas Isolo in to absorb his offense into his like he's. I can't think of the comic book character, but the villain who could take your powers. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the show Heroes on NBC, but Siler was the show on there. The guy on there was Siler. He used to take your powers. But anyway.
Yeah, I just think that he knows. I think Taylor knew half court offense needs to change, right? Like, we've got to get better at this. We've been bottom half of the seat of the.
So you think
league.
that was initiated by Taylor Jenkins? He went to Coach Jenkins. He went to Zach Kleiman and said, "Hey, I'm about to fire all these dudes because my offense sucks."
I don't know, man, because last year I said differently. Last year, me and you had conversations about this, and I said, whoa, okay. But I think my opinion on it has changed a little bit, because I think that he wanted to fire all of his staff? I'm sure there were hard conversations, and there's legitimately smart guys in the room having these conversations, and it was like, hey, we need to make some changes. And so he decided to make that change. But what concerns me, though, is that bringing in a brand new offensive system the way that they did, coming off of the year that they had last year, the drafting of Zach Edey and playing them the way that they are tells me that there wasn't a whole lot of conversation between Zach Kleiman and Taylor Jenkins about who to go get.
Which, to my point, they can't be on the same page. And here's another question I ask you, Ken. I hear what you're saying. I get what you're saying altogether. But let me ask you this. If the Grizzlies go out in the first round of the playoffs and they lay an egg and they look totally outclassed by the team that they lose to, Taylor Jenkins is getting fired. I think that we agree with that, right?
I think that his seat will be as hot as it's ever been if they lose enough. I have a really hard time saying this guy will get fired, because one of the things that annoys me about fans is that I feel like there's folks that are I don't even want to speak that into existence. There's folks that people want to fire people just like this,
Mhm.
like on a dime, and I try to stay away from that because that is like panic at the highest form to fire, like to go and fire a coach and bring somebody. That is basically saying we got to start over, in my opinion. And so I get hesitant about saying that, but
Yeah.
I do think that there will be. I think his seat will be as hot as it's ever been if they go in and they lay an egg in these playoffs. 100%.
Well, the point I was wanting to make, until you didn't agree with me, which is fine. The point I was trying to make is that if they lay an egg this year, and you lose a first round, you take a first round exit, 3 years being the number 2 seed in the West.
Right.
That's a fireable offense, in my opinion. And I think if he gets fired this year, that means that seat was hot this summer too. You know what I mean? Like this, if it's I don't think anything isolated could get him fired. It has to be a combination of something they've already had.
Got you.
Issues
Okay.
with him. But here's another reason why I point to ask the question: Are they on the same page as they've always been? When they traded Marcus Smart and they traded Jake LaRavia, right? Zach Kleiman came out and he said, I'm really supportive of Gigi and I'm confident that Vince
I'll take that L.
sometimes real niggas do non-real nigga things. I went out. I tried to get Marcus Smart. Hey, the shit didn't work. I mean, fuck it.
Didn't work.
Fuck it. Sue me. Fire me. I mean, whatever.
I'll take the L. I don't know what to tell you.
But on my mama, I promise you, we're trying to
on the set
on baby. We're trying to all the guys that we went out to. I mean, the Nets, they're on some whole shit. I mean, we're trying to tell y'all this.
Some straight bitches.
They're on some whole shit, man. We're trying. I mean, one thing I've never done before was beg the hoes. So I'm not begging these whole ass teams for.
Hey. They don't want to be saved. Don't save her. They don't want to be saved.
I'm not saving Brooklyn. I'm not. Fuck 'em. Matter of fact, motherfucker.
Hey, by the way, you went from Zach Kleiman to now it's sounding like Barack Obama a little bit. Now you're sounding like Obama a little bit.
But what was it? All right, let me get back to my point, man. And that was funny though. I mean, like, man, get your phony stars looking ass up out of here, man. But that man like, hey, shout out to Zach Kleiman because that man got smooth. That man got the side part with the man got the full beard. Hey, that boy swagging. His swag increased, bro, over the years, man. But no.
Yeah.
What I was saying, bro.
Talking about Marcus and Jake.
Okay, you trade Marcus and Jake, right? The first thing Kleiman says is like he wanted to make room for his dudes. Like exactly. Like remember we recorded that show before he said that. And he came out and said literally what we said, the day we recorded. He said
like
that.
You're tapped in, Anthony. It's like
man, let me find out you watching my show, Zach. Let me find
out you're getting our talking points.
I saw you trying to clown the way I talk. Just let you know. But no, man, funny, bro. But anyway, he said he wanted Gigi, Vince, Jalen Wells. He want these guys to, he want to clear the way for those guys, right? And my thing is, if you and your coach are on the same page, there'd just be a conversation, bro. You just be like, stop playing Jake LaRavia, bro, or don't play Marcus Smart, or just let him sit there. I'll figure that out. I'll let him. We'll say his hand's done for the year, or we'll make up some other injury. But the fact that you had to do that just to guarantee that those other guys will get minutes over those guys. You know what I mean? It just makes you kind of wonder, bro. Plus, you also
do we know that that's the reason why he did it though?
He
We're
said
kind of
it.
assuming
He said.
Well, he said. I think he was referencing
Ja Bain and Jaren are the leaders of this team, and I'm all of it. I mean, come on, bro.
Well, I mean, I think he was referencing.
Cause, bro, if he hadn't traded Marcus Smart and Jake LaRavia, bro, Marcus Smart and Jake LaRavia would have been playing over Gigi, the Jalen Wells of the world, bro. Marcus Smart would have been starting at the 3, bro.
I don't disagree with you, and I think yes, but what I heard him say when he said that was more so that's why they didn't make these massive moves to go get Cam or go get you know, they didn't, or the
I
Jimmy
took
Butler.
that as why he made the moves he did make, bro. That's how I took it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because if y'all locking step, you be like, man, quit playing it, man. Look, Marcus Smart ain't playing no more, bro. We gonna fake an injury. We gonna get him up out of here. Marcus Smart played his last game as a Grizzly. Don't play him.
Yeah,
for real, bro.
I do think there is. I think that there are some. You saw this with. There's just so many. I'm a movie guy, so there are movies about this, right? Like real life, like telling stories. There's that Moneyball movie with about Billy Beane and the Oakland A's. He did that 3 times. There was one guy that was a rookie shortstop that they were like, no, you need to play this guy instead because he gets on base more. And the Art Howe, the manager, wouldn't play this guy that Billy Beane brought in to play, who's this is how we're moving as a team. And so what the man did is he just traded him. He traded the rookie and said, get up out of here. Now all you can do is play this guy.
I think that there's something to that, but I'm not saying that they're like, you know, looking each other off or disrespecting each other or beefing, but they can't be on the same page the way that they were, you know, a few years ago. And we've seen him do it before, man. We saw him we saw him get Grayson Allen the hell up out of here so Desmond Bain and D'Anthony Melton can play. Like, we've seen him do it before, man. So, but yeah.
It's an interesting idea, and I would hope that they can get this situation righted, but if it's true that they're not on the same lockstep, but I would say, just to kind of go back to the hot seat topic, I would say Taylor's seat is hotter right now than it was last year. I think he's in a position where he's in because they're about to pay Jaren Jackson Jr. a lot of money. They're about to invest a lot of money into this core, right? And so it's like there is a level of this has to happen now. You know what I'm saying? Like, this has to go down now. Whether it's this year, whether it's next year, whether it's the year after, this has to happen. And yeah, man, like some of the stuff that you've talked about, some of the just the not normal shit that happens with this team on a nightly basis when it comes to who plays and who doesn't, and who plays together and who doesn't play together, how they're using certain players, things like that, just makes me go, man, like we're not going to sit here and waste this next 2 years on whatever harebrained ideas coming up in these analytic studies that they do in the locker room with the coaches. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna have to figure this thing out.
Yeah,
but
they do. But y'all get y'all shit together, man. Figure this shit out, bro. Figure this shit out, man.
What a shitty game last night, by the way.
I don't even want to talk about it. I ain't got nothing to say about it. I went to sleep in that game at halftime. I was gone. I was tripping because Griff was like, nah, bro, we ain't doing post game. Y'all getting halftime, and that's it.
I was like, man, I turned it off in the third quarter. Like, when they went down by 18, I was like, man, screw y'all, man. Y'all done anyway. Y'all don't even want to play this game, so I'm not going to watch this game. Like, Jesus, man.
Yeah,
so frustrating.
Sure. But, man, it's been a good one, man. The Grizzlies are going on break for All-Star break. We are not going to All-Star break. We will be back next week on Wednesday. We'll have some All-Star weekend stuff to talk about, see what Jaren look like. These dumbass teams they got. How you gonna have a team with all the older guys and then put Jason Tatum and them on the new guy on the older guys team? Like, bro, what are we doing, bro?
You're a Jason Tatum fan, aren't you?
I love Jason Tatum. Like, if Jaren's my favorite Grizzly, but Jason Tatum might be my favorite player in the league. Like, he's up there for sure. But like, bro, why is Tatum on that team? Why he ain't on the team with LeBron and them? I mean,
you're not a boring dude. Why do you like boring players?
If whether you notice this or not, I have a thing for wings that can dribble, pass, and shoot. Like, that's big wings that can dribble, pass, and shoot are typically my favorite players in the league. The Paul Georges, I was a big Scottie Pippen fan, senior fan coming up.
Yeah.
You know, the Paul Georges, the Scottie Pippens, the Kevin Durant's, the Jason Tatum's. I've always been a fan of big wings that can dribble, pass, and shoot.
Is Paul George done, dude?
Which is why it probably is, yeah. That's another thing. This is another thing too. People have to understand, man. It was this guy that was saying like, man, Luka's gonna beat LeBron's scoring record. He's gonna do it as a Laker. I'm like, bro, Luka ain't playing that long, bro. Luka ain't playing as long as LeBron play. Like, people don't understand like how rare it is that how long he's played and how the level he's playing at for that long. Like, this just ain't typical. Where you see Paul George falling off, you see Steph Curry falling off. Like, these dudes ain't going to be good that as long as LeBron was, bro. Like,
Steph's already talking like his retirement, how he's going to retire.
Yeah.
Like he's 36.
He's about to wrap it up.
He's like,
he's about to wrap it up, man.
That's crazy, man.
I would not be surprised if Golden State, when they get their ass smacked and their season is over, if Steph is like, all right, bro, that's it.
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised if he does.
Wow.
At all.
Did Jimmy sign his extension with them?
Mm-hmm. It's like a 2-year.
Oh, it's only 2 years?
Yep.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, but we'll talk about aftermath of the All-Star break when we get back. This weird-ass All-Star weekend. I told
It's
these
going to be
people,
a weird weekend. Are you going to watch it?
No, I told these people how to fix the All-Star. I will. I'm lying. I'm full of shit. I told these people how to fix the All-Star game. They just didn't listen, bro. Just all you got to do is make a cash prize for a defensive MVP. Make it something like $5 million or something like that. Those guys are going to go crazy defending, trying to win that extra $5 million. And if it ain't all of them, you'll have 4 or 5 dudes really playing hard out there, if nothing else. At minimum, you'll have 4 or 5 dudes out there that are trying to get that $5 million. And those dudes will play hard, and it'll look like a really competitive game. But these dudes don't care, man. When they were playing for charity, when they were playing for Make-A-Wish kids, they didn't give a damn. So
give a damn. Oh, they acted like it. What part of the All-Star weekend are you looking most forward to?
Jaren in the All-Star game. Like, if one of our guys is in the big game, I'm always excited about that. But not just that. Screw the game. I love when they do the introductions to the All-Star team and they come out there and they wave, and I'm like, yeah, bro, like that's one of our dudes out there, man. Like that's what I like. Like seeing our guys up there with the 26 best players in the world. You know what I mean? So I'm a fan of that for sure. But man, we about to slide about this joint, man. It's been another good one. We'll see you guys. Hope y'all do enjoy this NBA All-Star weekend. Enjoy this All-Star break, man. Be nice to each other on Twitter, man. Shut y'all dumb ass up, because y'all don't know what y'all be talking about no way. All y'all sound terrible. Man, it's the stuff that I stand up high, sit up high, and look down low on Twitter that people talk about. Man, y'all be having some weird ass arguments, bro. Like, y'all be going in about the craziest stuff, bro. It really going at each other, man. But anyway.
For no reason.
For no reason. Y'all show some love to each other, man, for this All-Star weekend. Get somewhere and sit your ass down somewhere, man, because all y'all is some freaking lames who sit there arguing with each other. But for Kenny Stubblefield, for my man Perry Sharkey out here, sick as a dog out here, man.
Sick as a dog, man.
Saving the world, man.
Yeah, man. Parrish saved the world and took some bullets because of it, man.
Yeah, screwing around with y'all out here, man. Yeah, but we up out this joint, man. We'll see y'all next week, and we out.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.